What's up, everybody? Just wanted to make another post. That's what I'm calling I Am Not a Reader, because my experience has been growing up in grade school. I was put in the slower class, and through high school had that opportunity to go outside of the classroom during tests, because it took me a little extra long to be a comprehensive reader. My attention span was about that long, and I suffered from a little thing called attention deficit, something else. So, anyways, I want to do a post called I'm Not a Reader, because that was my story for like 20 out of the 26 years of my life. I just kind of had forfeited the idea of reading, because I didn't have a great experience from the school system and how they go about pitching this discipline called reading. So anyways, I love reading now. It's still not my favorite thing to do, but I discipline myself in such a way that I do get some sort of enjoyment out of it. And now what I'm finding out is that there's just about 2, maybe 3 types of people in the world in regards to reading, but today we'll stick with 2, and I want to focus on the first one more than the second. The 2 types of people I've found is the people that just say, I don't read. I'm not a reader, I don't read, I'm not going to read. Second type of person is the type that enjoys reading. They'll grab a book, a cup of hot tea, and cuddle up on the couch with a blanket and a pillow and just read their little hearts out. First type I like to deal more with, because that's just what I've got more experience with, is that used to be me. I was just wasn't a reader, and I have been extremely influenced by curiosity, by wonder. After I graduated high school and left the public school system, I went to mechanic school, started working with my hands, was something that I was interested in, and that springboarded me into this whole journey of reading that was sparked by curiosity. So my first word of encouragement, because I want to move everybody in this category from I don't read to I will at least attempt and discipline myself to. I want to help move people in that direction. So my first word of encouragement is to find something you're curious about. It doesn't matter what it is. Get curious about something, and go after the literature that's out there pertaining to that information. It will, and for me, it has developed the snowball effect of curiosity breeds curiosity. For those who just have a hard time with the mechanics of reading, there's been a book that I've not read all the way through by Mortimer Adler. It's called How to Read a Book, Classic Guide to Intelligent Reading. And you can see why exactly I haven't read all the way through, because it's like an inch and a half thick, and I'm just not going to sit down and read all that. And I don't blame you if you wouldn't either. But to paraphrase some of the wisdom he's got in here is in How to Read a Book, start with the table of contents. I mostly read nonfiction, so that's where my thoughts are going to be coming from. But he says, start with the table of contents, read it all the way through, then go through the whole entire book and start with each chapter and read the subheadings throughout the chapter, all the way through the book. And then find the chapters that you're most interested in, and in those chapters, go through each paragraph, read the first and last sentence of each paragraph throughout the entire chapter. And this process will give you a layout for how the book should be read. as far as content goes. So for those who have a hard time with the mechanics of reading, try that out, see what you think. Also, don't forget about the preface, the interlude, the prelude, the forewords. This will get you in the mind frame of why the author was writing the book. He had a purpose, he had an intent, and I think that'll help those who say, I'm just not a reader, at least enjoy reading a little bit as they try to fulfill and satisfy their wonder and curiosity. Another two more thoughts on the I'm not a reader person is I'm an advocate for reading, and this is why. It improves our speaking skills, which improves conversation skills, which improves social skills, and that's really important to me, is being able to socially interact with those around us. And second point of why I'm a big reader advocate is because it improves your thinking skills, and your thinking skills affects everything. So improves your speaking, improves your thinking, and I am interested in leaders rising up and guiding the next generation in a wisdom-based manner. So the old saying goes, leaders are readers. I believe it really is the case. You're not going to lead anybody anywhere wisely or in a progressive manner if you're not reading. And let's just be careful not to confuse that. Readers aren't leaders, but leaders have to be readers. Second type of person, just a couple thoughts that just enjoy reading. I read, but I don't necessarily do anything with the reading. That just can't be the case. Like at some point, we have got to be changed by what we read, whether it's nonfiction, fiction, historical, biographical. Stuff that we read has to change or solidify some type of conviction in us. So I want to encourage you to not be that person that just reads for reading's sake and doesn't do anything with it. Second thought for the second type of person is find seminal authors to read. The bestseller books, I mean, if you've been in Barnes & Noble lately, there's like a gajillion books to read that could make our thoughts go anywhere. But I want to encourage you to find seminal authors for your interest. Where did the idea essentially come from first, or who recorded it first? And I think that'll greatly influence the way you read future authors that wrote after that and were influenced by that person that wrote on the material first. Not to say that other authors are bad, but seminal authors are ones that documented the ideas originally, I think will greatly impact the way we read, the way we think about the process of recording ideas and passing them along. I guess to leave on a thought, one of my favorite philosophers and authors is a guy by the name of Henry David Thoreau, 19th century. He wrote a book called Walden, The Simple Life on Walden Pond. It was a recording of his 2.5 years living out in nature. Anyways, something he says in this book is, to paraphrase, is at some point we've got to put down the book and do something with the information that we've discovered. So I want to encourage those who do a lot of reading to resist the temptation to read for an intellectual high, to actually do something with the information that you're reading. So that's my thoughts on reading. I'm sure more will springboard, and I may come back and do a second post on reading, but all the future posts that I'll have been influenced by reading at some capacity, and so I felt like it was a decent one to start off with. Anyways, find a book, get curious about something, find a book, and sit down and just dredge through it. develop the discipline of reading so that you can have a substantial impact on the generation around you, and the generation behind us. So, thanks for stopping in, taking a chance to watch the video. Send me a link, send me an email, and maybe we can interact with the idea. And chat soon.